Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, diagnosis rates are at an all-time high, with more children being labeled every year. Nearly 10% of all school-age children in the United States are impacted by this diagnosis. Do you have a bright, creative child who struggles to focus, constantly fidgets, or has emotional meltdowns? As a parent, it can be heartbreaking to watch them struggle in school or with friendships. You may have tried different behavioral therapies, dietary changes, supplements, or even medications, hoping to see improvement. But if lasting relief still seems out of reach, there may be an overlooked root cause, an impaired vagus nerve. If this resonates with you, please share with other parents who may need to hear this as well. Many parents of children with ADHD, particularly the hyperactive or impulsive types, live in a constant state of fight or flight themselves, anxious about how their child may behave in situations that require calm and focus. Mabel is a 7-year-old diagnosed with ADHD, whose mom found pediatric chiropractic. Mom was trying to avoid medications, but received so many emails daily about her behavior from school that she felt it was just a matter of time before she ran out of options. In Mabel's first consult, she couldn't sit still, and in fact, at one point, climbed onto a table in the office and jumped off. Mom was horrified and so apologetic. The truth was, Mabel wasn't trying to misbehave. She was just doing what her brain felt comfortable to it, jumping, moving, and giving it stimulation. After assuring Mom that we understand the struggle, a weight was lifted off her shoulders. Mabel's mom had heard of the vagus nerve before and its association with the brain-gut connection, but initially wrote it off as Mabel no longer struggled with the constipation she did as a toddler. And while the vagus nerve does influence the gut substantially, its unique and widespread pathway influences so much more. In fact, over 75% of all nerve fibers carrying signals for organ function travel along vagal pathways. This makes the vagus nerve a major player in regulating essential body functions like heart rate, breathing, digestion, and more. When it isn't functioning properly, we see symptoms like poor sleep, headaches, fatigue, anxiety, gut issues, and difficulty focusing. The vagus nerve is the critical messenger, sending signals between the brain and organs to manage everything between relaxation and sensory processing to inflammation control. If this communication pathway becomes impaired, whether from early trauma, chronic stress, or poor nervous system communication, children can exhibit the hallmarks of ADHD, attention issues, hyperactivity, emotional dysregulation, and more. So let's dive into the fascinating science behind this. The intricate neuromuscular tissues and pathways that surround the vagus nerve are both extremely sensitive to physical tension and inflammation. Physical trauma during birth, infections like PANDAS or COVID-19, poor diet, and toxin exposure all cause what we call subluxation, especially along vagal nerve pathways. This leads to impaired signaling capacity and overall neurological imbalance. Birth interventions like forceps, vacuum extraction, or C-sections place significant strain on the vagus nerve and nearby tissues. This can cause subluxation in the upper neck area, disrupting the body's communication pathways. As children grow, regular childhood injuries, poor posture, and even dental or cranial restrictions can further stress the vagus nerve. Medications like antibiotics also have a long-term impact by disrupting the microbiome and the gut-brain connection, further suppressing vagal tone. When the vagus nerve remains suppressed, children experience more headaches, anxiety, gut discomfort, and sleeplessness. These symptoms, along with difficulties in focus and impulse control, are the hallmark signs of ADHD. Much like Mabel, we develop customized care protocols for each child to gently stimulate and strengthen the vagus nerve, restoring balance to the nervous system. Our pediatric-focused office is designed to make it easy for children to go through assessments and receive care, even if they have trouble sitting still. Our process begins with a thorough case history and insight scans to evaluate the function of the child's vagus nerve and autonomic nervous system. These scans help us identify subluxation patterns and dysautonomia, allowing us to pinpoint the root causes of neurological imbalance. So here's an example of what we found with Mabel's scans that clearly shows why it was so difficult for her to be focused, still, and engaged. While at rest, Mabel's scans had an excess of neuromuscular energy in her nervous system. That's what all the red bars mean on this scan. And this is extra energy that the brain is picking up from the body. Specifically, it's telling her cerebellum and central processing system that she should move fast and keep a busy brain, as that movement and attention span, or lack thereof, matches the input that the brain is receiving. This scan was taken along with 2 others, and combining these scan results along with Mabel's clinical history, we created a personalized care plan, which detailed how long it would take and how frequently she needed adjustments. We then utilized precise, neurologically focused adjustments to address subluxation, release stuck fight or flight tension, activate the vagus nerve, and improve communication between the brain and the rest of the body. The first response that most children like Mabel have to this specialized form of chiropractic adjustments is better sleep, more calm, and improved sensory regulation. So Mabel's mom saw immediate changes. Her sleep improved. She went from struggling to fall asleep before 9 p.m. to starting to doze off as her mom was reading her a bedtime story. And instead of waking up at 6 a.m., her mom now has to wake her up for school every day. And better yet, Mabel's teachers were even amazed at her transformation. And 6 months later, they are still asking how she calmed down without medication. It truly is incredible. If you're ready to get to the root cause of your child's challenges, we're here to help. There are safer, more natural options to address vagus nerve dysfunction and improve overall neurological function. We'd love to support your family on this journey. Please ask any questions, leave a comment below, or send us a DM. We're always ready to help.